good to see you.
Testing.
Hello.
All right. First and foremost, we gotta talk. Talk scary to me. How's it going?
Yes,
it's going good.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Are you guys listening? Who listens to Talk Scary to Me here?
Yeah!
Oh, yes. If you guys don't know what Talk Scary to Me, it's our podcast. It's a sex and love podcast. So please take a listen if you haven't.
And a lot of horror too.
Sex, fun, and friendship too, though.
Yes.
911 call.
Yeah, and true crime.
Yeah.
And when we interview horror people in our world, we just get to know them on a different, more intimate level.
Jinx.
Is anyone out here a Patreon subscriber?
Oh!
I am. Yeah. Good. You should check it out. There's so much more fun bonus content for you guys.
Well, it's also fun just watching us.
Yeah.
Maybe me. Whatever I do.
I love your live streams. I like how you just go live. It's so fun.
yes.
We like that stuff too. Tell me, ladies, how did this podcast start for you?
I forced her to be my friend.
She's still forcing me.
Yeah. She doesn't know it yet.
You know, it really started from us doing interviews over the years and feeling like we were getting asked the same questions and thought maybe the fans would want to know other more personal things, so, where you guys can relate to. And there just wasn't really anything like that in our world. And we know everybody, all the horror guys and girls that we can kind of get into the nitty-gritty with them. So it was COVID, and I wanted a friend, and we decided that she was the only one willing to come over and risk her life. And we just were like, well, let's just try this thing. And I don't listen to other podcasts really, so I don't have like a model off of how to do it. So whoever here does listen, we kind of just wing it. And I think that sort of makes it
I don't think you guys
authentic.
realize how much we just fucking wing it. Like, we've got nothing planned.
No.
Like, maybe I'm like, hey, is there something you want to talk about? We're like,
Figure it out.
Figure it out.
And we start to yap, and I'm like, whoa, just save it.
Yeah.
But that's the fun. It's like being a fly on the wall of like a real conversation, So, and we don't have a filter.
And plus, I love Dr. Drew Love Lines.
Yeah.
Does anybody know what? Yeah, dude, I love that fucking show. I used to listen to that show with my dad in the car from all the auditions. But I was like,
Coast 103.5.
yeah. But I was like, it was very informative, and I
Yeah.
learned a lot of shit. And I was like, there's nothing like that, anymore. And so
Yeah, I'm not gonna run into Dear Abby or Dr. Ruth anymore, so.
You are our dear Abby.
No, it's cool. It's really cool to see that and to kind of get to know you guys and to have other fun things to talk about at the table other than shit you've already heard.
And we learned from you guys as well.
Yeah.
Like, we're all just learning. We're all doing this thing called life together. So we learn from one another. So I think that's really great outlet for me as well. Because constantly when people are writing in, I'm like, oh fuck, I should put that to my life as well.
Yeah, that's true.
It really makes you think about yourself.
Yeah.
And break your own psyche down a little bit. Okay, so before we talk about Halloween, because I know that's why a lot of people are here, I want to talk to you ladies separately about two separate projects that you both did. For you, on our podcast, we just covered Natty Knox for Halloween. And we loved it. We had a great time with it. It was so fun.
Thank you.
And I mean, even the producer messaged me, and the young cast listened to it, and they loved it too.
Oh, good.
It's like, thank you for showing so much love to our kids. So good.
Yes.
Has anyone here seen it? It's called Natty Knox.
Yes, it's brand new.
So I couldn't promote it because we had a strike, so it sucked. We weren't
Now
allowed to
promote
post
it,
anything,
bitch.
so
Promote
now
it.
we can. So it's streaming. It's written and directed by Dwight Little, who directed Halloween 4. It was our first time teaming back up in 35 years together, and it's myself.
so crazy
and
seeing you play a mom.
That's
so
Is
crazy.
it because the kids are older? Is that what makes it weird? Because you know me as a mom.
I know.
But is it on film weird?
It's a film. Yeah, it's when you watch it on TV. I'm like, oh fuck yeah, she's a mom.
Or is it because that's not how she parents? Is it different
Yeah, it's
than...
definitely not how you parent.
No?
No, dude.
Am I nicer to my kids?
Yeah, you are. You're a really chill mom. You really are. You're so sweet. Until you go scout, cover your ears. Get the fuck out of here!
Once I was like, okay, I don't like to yell,
That's so funny.
and I grew up in a house where we yelled a lot, or I didn't yell, but everybody else around me yelled a lot, so I don't do that around my kids. It's very quiet and chill, and then every once in a while it's either that or spank them. I haven't done that yet, so I just yell and they're butt puckers and we're good to go.
I got a lot of spankings as a kid, and I
Yes,
deserved
so did I.
every one of them. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
entire nose.
So go see it. It's Robert England,
Yes,
Bill
Bill
Moseley, and myself, and it's streaming right now.
And a lot of really talented young people that you're definitely going to be seeing in the future, especially Chana. Oh my God.
Oh yeah, she's great.
Right? So please check it out. And also, I want to know, how did that come into your life?
Dwight called me and
Did you
said,
just say, do this movie?
no, he said, I need a favor. We have no money. I'm self-financing it myself. But you get to play a mom. He said, you'll forever be Jamie, but now you're going to be Mom Diane, the realtor. And I was like, done. Just tell me what you need.
Also, that was it. See you as a realtor.
A realtor,
Yeah.
yes. Which I am. You know,
Yeah.
I did get my real
I
estate
know.
license.
I was like, wow, it's coming to life.
It's a whole other persona.
Yeah, it's such a fun little movie. And, you know, I had no expectations. And I was
It's
like,
not gory, it's not super scary, it's just some really good pieces of it. It's very simple.
it has some good comedy too. And this, anyway, check it out, guys. It's brand new. So excited to watch it,
Yes.
and we loved it. So it's part of our new Halloween rotation.
Yes.
Awesome. Along with the other Halloweens, of course. For
I'm
you,
so afraid what you're about to bring up.
She's like 40
Like,
movies
which
she's done
movie are
in
you
the
guys
last
talking
year.
about right
they're not. It's not. Yours isn't recent,
Oh,
but I love
we're
it.
bringing up an oldie.
And it's
Okay.
very controversial opinion. But I really like your April Fool's Day.
Oh my god, I don't even remember that movie. I was 18.
Yes, you were
That was
super
so
young.
long ago.
Yeah, I love it though.
Oh my god, that's so crazy. I had red hair.
Yeah, it was great.
And lots of
you
different
had
color hairs.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
had a lot of good fashion moments too in that one. You
I
had like this
did.
go-go look at one point.
I did. I know that was the movie I did right after Halloween.
Yeah.
It was the first offer that came in was April Fool's Day, and I had not seen the original.
Good, because it's nothing like the original at all.
No, it isn't. It isn't.
That's
But
why it
she
gets
was
a
a
lot
fun
of hate.
character to play.
Yes.
Innocent, but then I'll fuck you up. So that was cool. That was fun. I was like, that was my interest. I was like, oh, she's the bad one. I was like, okay, cool, yeah.
Done.
Coming from
Amazing.
Laurie Strode to that, I was like, this is really cool.
Okay, so I'm going to throw it out to the audience. Let you guys have your turn. Do we have any questions right off the bat?
I
Right
do.
there.
I already asked, I'll ask again, what are you excited about in your future projects or what you're doing now?
Ooh.
Well, we're gonna. It's been a long time
Fucking say
that
it,
we
girl.
haven't been in a movie together. So we have Scout's come up with some great ideas, and we've written our own shit, and we're gonna be teaming up to do our own things. So we already have our first script done. So we're gonna start that probably spring of next year. So every year we want to do like a way for you guys to see us as different characters for each, but
Movie a
still have
year.
a relationship.
Like American Horror Story,
Yeah.
how they do it. We're doing it. And we're gonna bring all your
All our
favorites,
friends.
all our friends in. We have really, really, really good ideas. And the first script I'm very excited about. So
We play lovers.
fuck bitch, we haven't announced that! Girl!
You see it now, right?
You just gave it away!
A lot of fucking and fighting.
Oh my god, is anybody recording? No. Ah, there she is. I found her.
Do you want me to edit that part out?
Oh, that is so funny. No, we haven't announced that yet. Yeah, we're playing lovers.
When
It's
will
just
that, when will that
my.
be announced to everybody else?
I guess soon now. On the
I'm just trying to
podcast.
get you excited about it.
You teased it like that, though.
Yeah. Oh, did we?
Yeah.
Did we? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was just because I wanted to make out with her. And my wish came true.
And how close are we to that happening? Your
I
project?
mean, spring, really.
Yeah.
Ideally, just a matter of finding financing, figuring out who we want to go to and how we want to do it. And it's minimal locations and not a lot of cast, and so it'll be just about character and gore
Yeah.
and fighting and all kinds of other fucked up things.
Yes.
Things that we know you guys would like to see and we want to do. So.
That's what we're all here for.
Yeah.
And then I have a movie coming out December 8th called Creature Was Stirring, which is a Christmas horror movie with Chrissy Metz
Chrissy Metz.
and Connor Pello.
And a very fucking scary creature.
A very fucking scary creature. So that comes out. And
You
then
can pre-order it now, though, right?
yes, you can pre-order it on Amazon. And then I have
Physical or only streaming?
physical and streaming. Yeah, in selected theaters.
Oh, that's so good theaters.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. And then I have a movie coming out next year with Richard Dreyfuss, and it may or may not be a shark movie. And then I did a movie in Thailand. That comes out next year. Yeah,
There's fun. You got a lot of movies coming out.
yeah.
I'm
Stay
so
tuned.
excited for the Christmas movie. Christmas horror is my favorite subgenre of horror, so I am all for that. Hopefully, it comes to Chicago for the theaters.
Yeah.
It is.
actually.
Yeah, it is coming to Chicago.
I am All in.
Yay!
All in. Awesome.
Amazing.
Okay, any other questions? In the backpack.
Yes, questions for Danielle. What was it like working with Don Pleasance on set?
You know, it's funny because I just rewatched Halloween 5 a couple months ago. I hadn't seen it in many years, and I didn't realize how awful Loomis is Jamie. Like, he's really horrible. I mean, I think I caught, like, first I caught the end. It was the end where he's holding me as a human shield in front of him and shaking the shit out of me. And I was like, whoa, this is fucked up. I don't know why I never thought about it. I mean, I knew, like,
That's
other
why we
things.
have children.
Oh my god. I knew other things they did to me in the movie were fucked up, but I didn't realize that the characters were also fucked up to her. You know, like putting me in front of a moving car, like that's like horrific. Without like really knowing, you know, it's like there's so much smoke and you're just like, oh god, I hope that he doesn't run me over. Which had almost happened numerous times. Or like going over those trees. Like there's no rehearsal for that stuff, you know. So the only story I really have from Donald, because he was quite a bit older than me, so we didn't really talk much, was I've told this, sounds like I've heard this so many fucking times.
No, I love it.
You're like, the scene where he comes in, he goes, Jamie, tell me what you know. And I make this like weird look. I think I'm sitting around the table, almost on the phone, making that like, that weird little noise that I was making because I couldn't talk. And I make this weird face, and it was because the smell of bourbon coming out of his mouth was so strong. I had never been that close to anyone with that breath, like that hot, watery eyes. But you see me like making a face, and it's literally because now when you go back and watch Halloween 5, you're like, whenever that scene's where I made that face, is because I was like, what is that smell? So I love Donald. Love Donald. Dwight Little, the director, is like, Donald's great until like 3 a.m. And then you're like, okay, we're gonna have to get him a drink. Because to just get through the cold and the scenes and the late nights and stuff. So, but he's earned it. There'll be no better Loomis than Donald. He's English too. I mean,
Yeah. That's great.
yeah, he's great.
Him and Malcolm had that in common.
Yeah, exactly. I doubt Malcolm drank on set though. Malcolm drink now.
No, he didn't drink.
Can you give us the specifics on this party you guys gonna be throwing for the trip?
We're trying to
I don't think
figure it
a
out.
lot of people know about that.
I think a lot of people do know about that.
Yeah?
Yeah, we've been hearing it a lot.
Does everybody know about the fan vacation that we're doing? Yes.
Sounds fun, right?
Yeah.
I'm fucking stoked.
Tell us more.
I can't wait to do activities with
So
y'all
I
and
think we're
drink.
gonna do like different things next year. I mean, as much as we love conventions and we'll still be going, I feel like
Do you want to announce the other thing that we're gonna do?
I think we should.
I think we should.
Yeah. So we have. Well, I had this idea last night or something that here's the deal: we don't get to go and have fun because we're always working. So we're trying to figure out how we can validate having fun and including like everybody in it. So
And at these cons, like we're
Yeah.
always at our table, but
Yeah.
we never ever get to be able to hang out with you guys at the
Right.
parties and all that kind of stuff.
once we
It's
started
awesome.
doing our Talk Scary to Me lives that we've been doing, I don't know if anyone here has come to any of those we've done, but they're so fun that we're just thinking of new creative things to do. So I always wanted to go to summer camp, and I never did because we were kid actors, we were working, and like you just didn't do it. So I know there's like camps for adults, and I thought, oh cool, it's kind of like Friday the 13th or Sleepaway Camp, or like, you know, like ghost stories around the fire and like camp activities and cocktails. And so I think we could do like a summer camp weekend where we all stay in cabins and like hang out and have parties and bring in some musicians and maybe some food trucks and I don't know, just like a smaller, intimate, like as many people as in here for 3 days. Then we can all hang out with each other.
Party.
Be cool, right?
So cool.
Yeah.
I mean, it's different. Then, you know, we did this survey on our thing, and I got people everybody in mine wanted to go to Alaska. I'm like,
Mine wanted to go to Italy.
they want to go to Italy with her. They want to go to Alaska with me.
So you guys will be separate or
No.
No, we'll be together.
Okay.
Yeah. So that survey just helped kind of figure out where everybody wants to go.
Yeah.
And what time of the year everybody wants to go next year, and what everybody's budget is. And then by that point, next Tuesday is when it's done with the survey, and then Danielle and I will choose the location,
Yeah.
and then we will open up.
That's only going to be
tickets.
24 people, though.
Only 24 people.
Yeah.
It's very intimate.
That's a small, much smaller scale.
Yeah, so that's why we had the idea of the adult horror summer camp.
Where we can
so
all
we can have
go.
more people. So we're doing
It's like a
both.
big party.
Yeah, so just look out for
And
that.
any ideas you guys have on fun things like that? I mean, we thought of like Salem or like other things within the states that are like more drivable friendly, where we can like incorporate, you know, screenings or like cemetery visits or I don't know, spooky stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Illinois,
Nice.
sure.
We're pretty spooky out here.
Yeah. Speaking of that, I do a lot of like especially cruises. What about something like that for like a horror cruise?
Getting
I'm
this
a
one
little
on a
scared
cruise.
of cruises.
Getting very next in the water.
I'm not going. We don't go in the water on a cruise.
Whoa.
In the ocean.
Did you not see some of these cruises?
Yes, that's
like,
why I don't go anymore.
Dude,
I've done it.
Like they're like,
Yeah.
water is like getting in this ship.
Yeah.
It's like Titanic. Bro, I don't
That's
know.
when it all started. Yeah, I saw that too. But like, I guess there's like stuff to do. I mean, we would definitely do like an all-inclusive where like your lodging, your food, all the activities, like everything is like already there, so we can all just be
But
together.
I don't know if you and I can just do a big ship like that.
No.
Like that's the only thing. It would
Maybe not just
it would
two,
just
but there's so much horror.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think they
They
already
used to do
stuff
that
like
with
that.
Walking Dead used to have those.
Yeah.
Those
But then
cruises.
the people complained
Star
about
Trek
like
as well.
it wasn't intimate enough. Like you would
Right.
barely see them.
You
Like
can
this
change
is
that.
yeah.
Like knocking on everyone's doors.
Yeah.
Your turn, bouncers! I'm gonna make you a pelican out of a towel.
There's a company called Uncruise, and they do Alaskan cruises, and they're small boats.
Oh.
So it would have everything in there.
So everybody will want to go to Alaska? Or just go on a
Alaska.
boat?
I don't know if I trust a small boat. I'm just saying.
I still can't figure out how those giant boats float. You know, I just see I mean, I've been on cruises. I've been on Carnival, and I did that for my 30th birthday. I like that stuff.
Yeah. I've only
Well-
went once when I was a child.
Yeah.
Yeah. Haven't gone back.
I mean, Disney. I would do a Disney.
That's what I
cruise.
did.
Yeah.
The Disney cruise. But I was filming
But they're
a commercial.
expensive. They're like $6,000
Oh,
for
yeah.
a Disney cruise. That's
Oh, yeah.
fucking insane.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Yeah.
Would you guys ever consider doing something that involves ghost hunting?
Fuck
Yeah,
yeah.
sure.
We want to do with Jack Osborne. He does that.
Yeah, we talked to him about
He's a
going
friend of
tag along
mine.
with
Yeah.
him.
I think we're gonna do some of those ghost huntings with
Do you
him
guys
next
have
year.
anything, we're the paranormal group that's over there. Do you guys have any questions or anything? We do events too and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
Have you
yeah.
seen some shit?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Definitely.
Oh man.
We've been to a lot of places. We actually been to Six Flags for America, investigated the theme park with nobody there and everything.
It's
Is it
crazy.
haunted?
Oh, God, yeah.
Wow.
We're doing our paranormal panel tomorrow, and we're going to show people for the first time our evidence we captured there.
Oh, no.
Wow.
Has anyone died there?
Oh, yeah.
On the roller coasters?
Probably.
A lot of people die on roller
People
coasters.
die on roller coasters at
But
Disney.
it's,
They're still talking about it.
it's safe, but.
It's safe, but people die. It's safe.
They take the roller coasters down when you die on them.
Oh, okay. That's good.
It's so interesting. Like I'm very sensitive to that sort of stuff. I don't know if it was like being raised in a mortuary or whatever, but it's always like negative. Mine's always like really, really bad. I was staying at the Brown in Louisville, Kentucky, which is really, really haunted.
Right.
And I was filming a movie and I had to leave my hotel because it was affecting me a lot. But yeah, I'll have like pressure where it just feels like it's like on top of my body and I can't breathe. So it's just like always a negative thing. So that's why I'm really scared about ghost hunting. But I'm willing to give it a shot.
I've only had positive experiences with ghosts. I think it's people I know.
Maybe it wasn't ghosts.
Maybe it wasn't
that's
ghosts.
what- Something's trying to fuck with me.
Yeah.
There's a difference
A
between,
demon.
between ghost and demon,
Yeah.
depending on your
Of
religion.
course, Mila.
Someone in here I saw, yes.
With the podcast, I love that you guys get into some really like the nitty gritty things you talk about. Have you ever had any like producers or agents be like, "Can you please take that off the podcast? We don't like that." Any kind of like stories?
No, we run our own show.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do actually when we signed with Bloody Disgusting, Scott was like, so just making sure you guys are like, you're cool with the content because it's gonna stay the same. And they were like, yeah.
And we're also very protective of one another. So if we do talk about something and we'll bring it up to one another and be like, are you sure that you want that on there? Or there's only been a couple of things that we've taken out ever in all the
Yeah, I think
2
two episodes
Yeah.
was stuff. Scott gets a little more concerned about shit that I say. She's like, are you sure?
Me too, man.
I'm just protective over you, and I'm like, I don't care. Fuck it. And then you hear me bitch about it on the show afterwards. And people talk shit. Yeah, I get.
But it's it's my producer brain. I just
Yes.
I'm very protective of every person that I have in my life. So I'm always like, are you sure? Just making sure, and teach their own. People in the hallway, you can come in.
It's standing room only in this room, and this is very exciting. So exciting. Okay, someone over here. I lost you. There.
Rob Zombie seems to cast the same actors a lot. Can you guys give me hints? Anything you might be doing in the future?
He doesn't cast us though, fucker. He likes all the old people. Who are our friends, of course.
So I'm working on a book about my life, the Diaries of the Mortician's Daughter, that comes out next year. And I originally was trying to pitch it as a TV show. That's my goal, is to make it like a young adult, like a TV show. And I originally went out to Rob, and I talked with Rob about being the showrunner for it. And he had already done, he was like, listen, I just did one with Mila Kunis, and it was a fucking nightmare. And I was like, oh, okay. And it's probably the politics of everything, it's a really hard industry. But he's offered to direct the pilot, so I'm just hoping, man, I'm hoping that it just goes to a show. That's the goal, so we'll see. So buy the book, hopefully. We can make the show.
And of course, we'll be able to find out all those details online on your Instagram, on the show, all that. Right?
Yes.
All right, anyone in the back that I haven't seen? Yes.
I do actually. Christopher's passed. Played my brother Zach. I see. I'm kind of fucking brain fried right now. Kenny. Keith. I see Keith and Pinky at shows like this. He's great. I love that he signs those white dishes. It's fucking hilarious. It's so funny. Robert, Gorman, my little brother, he lives, and I always like best friends with him growing up too. My mom and his mom are good friends. I haven't seen Christina since then. She's one of my favorite actresses and one of my favorite people. I loved her recent show, and I'm just hoping that she hangs in there health-wise. It's sad, very sad to see her. And then Bruce Willis too. Seeing him kind of decline this year it's made me realize we're not going to be here forever. It's crazy. So that's pretty much it that I hung out with. But I had such a good time on that movie, and we may have done a remake of it last year or this year. We may have remade Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead. We may have a part
original
in
cast
it.
members besides
We
you?
may have original cast members. It may be pretty much the same story but way cooler. And it may be on
That
Paramount
movie was
Plus and
so
BET.
fucking cool.
What about like Jonah Cassidy or
I
John Getz and
know
any others?
that they had reached out to everyone that was in it to see. And when I was there on their first day. So and we took this over the summer. So
Have they announced this yet?
no.
Fuck Danielle.
Heard it here first.
But they said they were going to, so I'm just
Secret.
But I've been, listen, it's the end of the year. I don't have to see anybody until next year, so if I get in trouble, I'll be hiding in my house in Texas.
With the recent ramping up of the Laurie Strode story and the new deals with the TV and the film rights, are the scripts pouring in for the return of Jamie Lloyd yet?
Yeah, I wish. Nothing's pouring in. But Scott and I talk about it, and I think that there's so many different timelines within the franchise that I think they're smart to do a TV series, and they could revisit her story, my story. There's like 5 different things going on. So
choose your own adventure.
yeah, if every season focused on a different characters, different storylines, and figure out a way to kind of bring them together, I think it'd be smart. But I don't know, studios don't really get like what fans want.
It's so fucking crazy.
It's weird. It's weird.
Like, why don't they listen to people?
I don't know.
They should walk through one of these and they.
Yeah, man.
Exactly.
Could you imagine those guys here? They'd be scared. I
Yeah.
don't
They'd be
mind.
scared. But it's like we're the ones that are
Yeah.
going to see the movie, or watch the TV show. They're just they're making it for the wrong audience.
Yeah, maybe it would give them a hint.
Yeah.
They see all those dollar signs. That's all they see.
Yeah, pretty much.
If you were going to do something specific with like the future of Michael Myers and Jamie Lloyd and Laurie Strode, like what would you want to do as your characters?
Oh shit. I know what you want to do. Maybe then I'll come back and play your friend.
Yes.
Your best friend.
You hump me in the hallway.
Yeah. Yes, I'll help you in the hallway.
I mean, I would like to see where Jamie is now as an adult. You know, my idea was that she'd like gone away and sort of disappeared and maybe has a family of her own, and then things start happening with her family or her daughter or son or her, you know, because they really had 5, like I was connected to him telepathically. I would see what he was seeing out through his eyes. So it'd be interesting to see where she is right now. In order to stop it, maybe I've got to go back to Haddonfield and revisit that story.
I think the more you say it and the more you manifest it and the more you talk about it at these things, they're bound to listen.
Well, it's been coming up a lot in the last year. Like, people weren't talking about this 2 years ago.
Well, I think the last ones came out, yeah.
Yeah.
They're like,
Yeah. Or it was like, I think a couple years ago, it was like, are you going to do a cameo in any of these 3, you know?
Well,
and
that just like pisses me off. I'm just like, how the fuck did they not ask for you to come back to those ones?
I don't know.
I was just baffled.
What was I going to come back as Jamie then? It's like, I think it was, I don't know.
I don't know, man.
I feel like I came back in Rob Zombies because I didn't do Halloween 6.
But it was.
So it was like easier to like, I didn't die.
Rob
I
did.
think I could be a character 3 times.
But Rob did an amazing job for you, though.
He did. He
like,
did.
Having your send off.
100%.
Like that's
Yeah.
the
It
best
needed
send
to
off
be.
ever.
Remember, what the script was different
Yeah.
than what we shot.
Yeah.
I was the only one that didn't die by Michael Myers' hands in Halloween 2. There was no scene between Annie and Michael. She just came up and saw the aftermath.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, Rob, people are gonna be pissed. I'm the only one that doesn't have a scene with Michael Myers, and I die in this movie? I was like, yeah. So Tyler and I he just said, roll the cameras, and we were like, let's just fight it out and see what happens. And then Tyler destroyed the fucking room.
The best part about that scene, post scene, was Brad finding you. Oh my God.
You know, he never saw me in real life. He didn't want. I said, I'll be here.
Yeah.
If you want to see what you know? And he was like, I don't want to see it, Danielle. I can't see it. I have daughter. I can't. And he did it just with nothing.
It's
He
amazing.
was so good. He's such a nice man.
He's so talented. Oh my God. He's a force. Yes. You.
All right, this is for Danielle. It's kind of a 2-part question. One, I heard that you were going to direct again, and that Joe Dante was going to produce your movies. Yeah, what's going on with that?
No one has any money.
If you guys know where the money is,
Yeah,
let
even
us
Joe
know.
Dante can't find financing. It's crazy.
That's crazy.
They still keep renewing the option for the script, so we still have it. And then the strike, and there's been, we had COVID, and like all kind of everything's just been fucked. The world's been fucked up. The world is fucked up. So yeah, I think that it's just hard to find financing now. I feel like there's no in between. People are making movies for like $100,000 or $100 million. You know, it's like there's no middle class anymore.
And it's about to get
insane.
worse, especially with
Yeah.
this strike over.
Yeah,
Like,
oh yeah.
Like with AI coming in, it's about to get.
Everybody
so
wants to work
much.
too, so it's gonna be crazy.
Yeah.
And the second part is, so Scout's got her book. When is your memoirs coming out?
She's
I'm
working on
writing
it.
it. I'm writing it. I've actually been working with the writer of the Duquesne's book last year. We're gonna get together, and he's got a deal with Simon and Schuster, and we're gonna. I literally am outside my office. I have bins that I pulled from storage of all my like old scripts and photos and stuff from growing up, and so I'm chronicling all of that stuff first, and then sitting and really. I just talked to Scout yesterday. And I was like, I was just talking about this actor, but it's like, how much do you reveal? I don't want to change the names, but like, how much am I really gonna out people? It's kind of.
See, this is where I go, Danielle, you sure? I'm like, let me read the book first.
I was like, well, he didn't really force himself on me.
I
but-
mean, Danielle, are you sure?
It's not that he's super famous. It's fine. He's cool afterwards.
So are we gonna get a Scout Danielle like tandem book tour? Like go on book tours together, please, and thank you.
We're just forever gonna be paired up with one another.
That doesn't sound like a bad thing for you guys though.
It'd be interesting. There's like, even though you know us a lot more through our show than you did maybe 2 years ago, there's still so much that we haven't even scratched the surface.
Okay.
So the books are gonna be really interesting.
Yeah.
All right, way in the back in the center.
I know you're already talking about the Rob movies. Scout, I heard that the audition process for Halloween 1 and 2 obviously was super extensive. Could you talk a little bit about that? Like what went into your just process for getting the role?
Yeah. Well, at first first I got the script for, well, the size for Untitled Rob Zombie Project. So it wasn't even like a Halloween project. And Rob doesn't like to see people in person. He likes to see off of tape. So I went into a casting director and did this scene, and I didn't hear anything for like a few months. And then all the news started coming out with Rob Zombie doing Halloween, and I think pretty much everybody was already cast. They had cast everyone. They even asked fucking Danielle to come back. Like they literally had done everything. And they were having such trouble finding their Laurie Strode. And Rob told me on the first day, well, not on the first day, but while doing the first movie, he was like, you were the first audition that I saw and the first person that I wanted. And it was kind of a studio battle, you know? They were really like fighting each other. I think originally it went up to like Kristen Stewart. I heard Kristen, and then I heard like Danielle Panabaker. Like the studio was like really pushing for me not to be the girl. I think because I was underage. I was 7. I was like an actual like fucking teenager. The Weinsteins. So sorry. Anyways, so yeah. So when I went into like, there was 2 testings that I had to do, and one was with Danielle. And I remember coming in and I saw all the headshots of all the actors on this wall, and I just saw myself like dead center. My headshot just dead in the middle. And I remember I was so fucking nervous, and I had like my head down, I was looking at my sides, and I was like kind of shaking. I was just really, really, really nervous after I realized what it was. And I remember like these big boots coming in, douche. And I remember seeing them, and then seeing these like flared pants, and it was just literally like a movie. Like I was just looking up at this dude's body, and then just seeing this wild hair, and he was like, "Hey, I'm Rob." I was like, "Hi." And I went in and I read, and then I read it with Danielle and humped her in the chair in this small little office. Or you humped me in the chair in this small little office, and then I didn't hear anything for a week, and then I came back and did a screen test with Christina and Danielle and myself. I had red hair, like they put me through the ringer for sure. But then I got it, man.
Rob fights for who he wants.
Yeah, he really does. When he believes in you, man, and he really, really wants you, he'll do anything. Yeah, he's such a good person.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course.
I saw a little hand back there. I'm not sure if they left. Did she left to leave? Oh,
Yeah, she
sorry, I
left.
missed her. All right. Sorry.
First off, congratulations on the partnership between Talk Scary to Me and Bloody Disgusting.
Thank you.
Woohoo! Thank you.
Secondly, I was going to ask you, but she spills more secrets, so I'll leave it open.
I
to
know
both of
she
you.
does. And names.
What do you expect out of this partnership? What have you asked for, and what are they offering?
We would love an actual partnership where we create content together. You know, not just thing by thing, but we have our movies we want to do, and they're doing that too now, and Screenbox, and would love to see our podcast be filmed and actually on TV on their network. Kind of like how Howard Stern used to have it back in the day, where everyone's coming in and it's kind of cool and everybody can write it and stuff. There's a lot of stuff. You should see our text threads. Her and I, it's like a random.
We're the same brain.
All hours
Literally.
of the day, and then
We're like, Danielle, what about this idea?
What about this? What about this?
What
Hey,
about
we
this
can do
idea?
this.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
I
And
get
you
it.
know, you get that creative friend, and you're like, let's fucking do it. And we're both pretty fearless with like contacting people or like making our own shit happen. Because we feel safe with you guys, so we're like, if we create it, I don't feel like we're gonna fail, because you only fail if you don't try to do something, I guess. So hopefully it'll be the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
Yeah. Plus, it's like a family. Like this industry is a lot of like sucking you dry. So when you can find someone that's super supportive in a family base, then it's like you can only be successful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyone else? Yes. Yes.
Question for Danielle. Have you shown your kids a lot of your movies?
Just did.
So I just showed them the
can't believe you
ending
did
of
that.
Halloween 4. It's on my Instagram actually. But it was weird because my older son, who was cool with it couple of years ago, I only showed them like one scene. I actually closed their eyes until, because they know like them, where they've seen photos of like Jamie covered in blood with the scissors, you know. My kids actually run around the house wearing Jamie masks with pretending to stab each other. I'm like, you guys don't even know what you're doing. And you're not gonna do like, of course it's Jagger trying to stab Carter. Oh my god, constantly. He came in, my little one came in the day and he took the nose off of one of my clown masks that I had like up. He like pulled the nose off and was wearing it and he was like, I'm a clown. I was like, where did you get that? What are you doing in my office? That's mine. Thank God it wasn't the real one, you know. So I showed them the end, I closed their eyes, and then I had them open their eyes when I'm just standing at the top of the stairs. And then my older one was like, I forget what he said. Carter was like, why are you doing that? Why are you doing that, Mom? What are you doing? They're gonna shoot you? They're gonna kill you. Like he was just so concerned. And then my little one was just silent and then was like, can we go back to the beginning? And then my older one, Carter, was like, no, we're turning it off. And I got up to turn it off, so.
Oh my god, and he wasn't like that
He
when
was,
you first?
no, because I was with my nephew and he was more like, I wasn't scared, that was cool, and my nephew was shitting his pants. But I showed them the nightmare scene, which was really stupid, the scene where he comes up from under the bed. I know, that's so dumb.
Oh my god.
I know, I was like, this is probably not a good idea. But you guys know when you watch, are you sure about that?
Are you sure about that?
Yes, but when you watch movies with your kids that you grew up watching as kids, you don't realize how fucked up they are until you're in the middle of watching them with your kids.
It's also different because that's Mom. You know.
Well, yeah. It's been on TV, it was on AMC, and I was trying to skip around, but then, you know, of course, I happened to put it on when Kathleen Kinmont's like taking her bra off in the scene with Brady in front of the fireplace.
They love that scene,
And they're like, that's Aunt Kathleen! I'm like, oh, change that one right there. So they haven't seen, they've seen a little bit of like, don't tell Mom. They don't really, they care, but they don't really care. You know.
They will. They will.
When it gets them popular.
I guess.
Yeah, at school they're gonna rave about. Guess who my mom is?
They'll be in the bathroom looking at like FHM my photo shoots of my ass.
No. Oh my god, you are gonna be that mom. Oh my god, I love it. Love it.
Anyone else?
I mean, it's created a life for me.
Yeah.
Really, a community, and honestly, it's thanks to Rob for bringing me back to the franchise that rebooted that love that I thought had maybe been gone, you know, forever. And now you get into the phase of like everyone's kind of getting up there, and it's just a big community. It's been an absolute blessing. But we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys and your support, you know.
And we know it.
Yeah.
We definitely know it. That's why we want to do things for you guys. Like a vacation for you guys. We're like, how can we get back to y'all? What can we do for you guys?
I have to ask Danielle, how was it working with Donald Pleasance? Because it was weird, like in the hospital, like you almost looked like you were
You must have missed the beginning of the Q&A.
Where were you in the beginning?
I made a funny joke about the scene where I'm like making a weird face and I smell bourbon on his breath because it was late at night. He's lovely. Another story, I'll make it quick, is he only worked for I think like a couple days on Halloween 5, and then he left and they were going to get rid of his. He had a big like Winnebago, like 40 foot, and I was like, oh my god, there's like a fridge in there and a bed in there, because we were in what's called a honey wagon.
You were in a honey wagon?
We were in a triple banger, which is like it's like a 3 little teeny rooms that are about the size of a bathroom stall. Yes, but I had a VCR. I was so happy.
Yeah, but you were like that was your movie.
Well, that's what Donald said. He's like, hey, don't get rid of it. She's the star. And he asked them to keep the trailer for me, which was super fun and really nice of him. And I felt like a star, you know. I don't know. I was just so excited to have a bed to lay down and
appreciate it.
Yeah, so appreciate it. That was cool.
See, he was your friend protecting you.
Anyone else? You guys see that?
For Danielle, how was it working on Going Into the Road when you played Pete?
Oh my god.
That hairdo, by the way.
My hairdo?
Might be my favorite hairdo. of
Mine?
yours. Yeah. The woo.
It looks exactly the same.
No, that was higher. It's like
It was higher.
It's big.
It's because y'all had the fucking Jennifer Aniston haircut.
Yeah.
Everybody. First I had the Candace Cameron spiral perm, and then I went to when I got older I did Jennifer Aniston. It was great. I had a great time. He was petrified of me. I was 17, almost 18, and he was 13. And every time I went to kiss him, he would literally pull back. So I would say to the director, I was like, he's gotta act like he likes me. I don't know what to do. I'm not trying to
That would be traumatizing for any sort of boy. At 13?
But I mean,
a 17-year-old?
Yeah.
Oh my
And
God.
I was I was like all up in his business. So.
And you were hot too, so like, yeah, I get it.
It was super fun. I just did their podcast actually. They have a great podcast called Pod Meets World. So and they're doing lives and stuff, and I'm just really happy for them. That show's so classic. Another one where studios fucked it up. Like they didn't make the new one for us, who would be the ones watching the show. They made it for a new generation who didn't give a shit.
I didn't understand. Yeah.
You know, they don't get it.
Crazy.
What was your guys' favorite scene from the Rob Zombie movies?
Man, I just had so much fun doing all of the scenes. I loved working with everybody's so different. You know, Tyler and I was the annoying little sister with him, so we were constantly like bugging each other. Our trailers were right next to each other, so I was constantly like slamming on his trailer and like we were.
I hear you peeing in it.
Yeah, literally. I always knew when he was taking a dump. I was like, you're taking it. I know there's shit poop there. Are you pooping? Are you pooping? He's like, oh, are you pooping? And then like Danielle, she was like a big sister to me. So when we did the second one and it was her death scene, that was the first time, and still in my career, that I had a really hard time shaking it. And I had to leave the set because I was shaking and hyperventilating, and I just had to ask Rob for a second because it was just too real, you know? That was a hard one for me. And Malcolm, big flirt, fucking had a huge crush on him. So I was like, I loved working with him. Brad, I'm a huge fan of Chucky. I had no idea Brad was the voice of Chucky the entire time filming. like a moron. And then at the second premiere, I brought all my Chucky shit. And I was like, hey, can you sign this stuff for me? I was like, I'm such a moron. But yeah, everybody was so cool. It was all good memories, man. I wish we'd go back.
I know. Hey, it was mine. We're gonna
Yeah? Who was that? You?
My wife is texting.
That's when your hair was so big, was Roseanne.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Because I was playing like a cheesy girl from Iowa, and Rosie wanted me to look like the girls did in Iowa.
I thought it suited you.
You don't.
It was perfect. Yeah, it was just as petrifying as it was in 1992. Everybody was pretty much exactly the same. That's just scary to do. It's very hard. I hadn't actually done a sitcom since 1992, other than Boy Meets World. So it's a considerable amount of dialogue, and they change it late at night, and you have to know it the next day, and it's just a lot of work. And everybody's been doing it for so many years, and it's easy for them.
Yeah.
So I felt a lot of pressure to be good. And I never felt good in the old ones. I always felt like Sarah got all the funny lines and I just set her up all the time. So I always felt like I was doing a shitty job. So it was important for me to do it good, to get it right this time. What I didn't care for was that they did not tell me that my character was going to die or that I even had cancer. And spoiler, if you haven't seen it. So I didn't know until I think 4 days into filming, when they kept giving me these weird notes, and I was like, I don't get it. And then I called the girls. I'm on this group text with Scout, Serena Vincent, and Tiffany Shepis, and I was like, okay, so they just told me right before network run through that I'm dying of cancer in the show. So it changes everything that you've chosen to do. But they never said it in the show, so I didn't know it. It was never part of the dialogue or anything. And then I thought I was going to do a few more episodes, and then when I was doing press for that episode aired, it was a double that night. And they were like, okay, we're going to do pre-mortem and post-mortem interviews. And I was like, wait, what? Post-mortem? And they were like, oh, hang on a second. So the next episode, when it airs, your mom's going to go over to her house, and Donnie's going to go to your mom and say that she wants to go with you to Hawaii, and your mom's going to tell her that you died. I was like, oh shit, they killed me.
But a tearjerker.
Dude, what the fuck? You couldn't have told me? before I had it, like, so I was a little bit bummed out that, you know, we didn't, I was like, God, Molly and Darlene are finally friends, you know, we're dancing on tables and shit. So it's a scary show.
Well, TV in general is really
Scary.
terrifying. With movies, you can play around, you can change lines, you can be interactive with your scene partner. TV, you got no fucking voice.
No.
It's what they put on that sheet, and if you miss one word,
Yeah.
you gotta redo it.
And it's sitcoms, so they change the sheets a lot.
They change
Constantly.
every day,
Constantly.
every night.
So you're
would-
already
Can't
panicking.
even
I would get to work at 6 in the morning, even though my call was until 8:30, because I needed those 2 hours in the morning to relearn everything, because they switch like one word or 3 words, or they put this line here instead of here, and you just have to be able to remember all of that. And I have mom brain, so it was like, I'm so nervous.
It's funny, I was working on a show, Nashville, and I worked on that show, thank you, I worked on that show for a year, and I've never gone on a set where the series regulars are terrified of being fired. They were like, we gotta do a good job, we gotta do a good job. I'm like, you guys have been here for how many seasons? But it's like that every time I'm on a TV show. Every time. Everybody's afraid of getting fired.
Because there's like a wizard behind the curtain on TV shows.
Yeah.
You don't know where the notes are coming from, who you're making happy. You know, it's TV's. I don't like to do TV.
Yeah. TV's scary.
Yeah.
Okay, this is for Scout. So had they made Halloween 3
Yes.
and you decided what did you want from your character?
To fucking be a badass and you know, join forces. You know, it's so crazy. I didn't know this. Rob was signed on to do 3. We were signed on to do 3. But the second one was so horrible with the Weinsteins. Like the Rob and the Weinsteins were fighting the entire time. And he almost threatened to quit. And the only way that they got him to finish it is if they took him off the third one. If he doesn't have to do the third one anymore. The Weinsteins really messed it up. Really, really did. And I remember when we got the offer, I was so excited to come back and be able to play her, because I was really excited about where she could have gone. And Tyler and I were both ready. And we got the call, and they were like, the first thing they said was Rob was not a part of it. And they were like, we don't have a script. We are shooting in 2 months. And I remember I called Tyler, I was like, what is happening? He's like, I don't know. He's like, should we do it? I don't know what to do. But you know, it's so crazy, because I would have loved to have done the third one. But looking back at it now, I'm kind of glad that we didn't do it, especially without Rob. I think it probably would have ended up not being very good. So, you know, who knows? Maybe the TV show will both come back. Just put it out there in the
There's
universe.
definitely a lot of more love for those movies now after this last round of movies came out.
What do you guys think of the new ones? It was so crazy. We were at the premiere and we were doing the red carpet, and Danielle and I, when we were there, asked, "Are you so excited?" We're like, "Yeah, we can't wait for the bloodbath, the battle between Lori and Michael." And then, yeah.
About 45 minutes in, I leaned over and I'm like, something's gotta happen soon.
Oh, you should have
I
saw
was
me
so
at the
desperate.
premiere. I was like looking at Danielle. I was like, "Where is he? Where is he?
I know.
Where is Michael?" I was like, "Where is he?"
I was so bored. I was about to go to sleep. I said something's got to happen soon.
I think it's a really good movie about like the young kid who's so talented.
Oh, he was great.
It was his movie. I was like, man, this is a good movie. If it
I
was
do love
about
that
like a
opening
serial
one.
killer. Oh, the
The opening of the movie was
awesome.
great.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, oh, this is gonna be good.
Well, I think the issue was they raised the bar so high when the gore factor in 2018, and then the next one, and then took it all
I think
away.
it's just the storyline. I think
Oh, that
honestly,
too.
I think.
But you could at least give us some blood.
Yeah.
Can't give me a story with blood.
The ending, I thought it could be saved because I thought he was gonna grab her and bring her in. I was like, fuck ah!
That was so good.
Yeah.
Okay, so to wrap you guys up, I would like to go a little deep. Can I?
What?
Yes. Can you share with us?
I am in therapy. Yes.
She's your therapist.
Yeah.
It's called friendship therapy and it's real, okay? Can you share with all of us something important you've learned on any set, just in general, that has taught you something important about life or the business that you've taken with you?
Don't ever be late.
Okay.
How many times have you been late on a set? I've been late once my whole career.
Never.
One time.
I'm that person that's a
Yeah.
weirdo that arrives an hour before and just
Yeah.
sits in my car.
Yeah.
You never know what can happen.
Well, you just don't want to be
Yeah.
the person everybody's waiting on, ever.
No.
And I feel like a lot of the newer actors are like, don't get that.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, that's like a life skill. You know.
But we also grew up with like we were recording on film.
Yeah.
Like you had to come to work on time and prepared because there was no, film was so expensive that even if, especially indie film, like they would buy like what they call like loose ends, so you only had like 3 minutes and 20 seconds of film, but you had 5 minutes scene to film, and you're like,
Yeah.
oh God, how are we gonna get this? So you just have to be on point. So I think that's, it's like the bigger movie stars usually I've experienced are always kinder and more humble than the newer ones that are starting out kind of have a little bit of a difference. So don't bite the hand that feeds you.
Also, be kind.
Yeah, be kind.
Be kind to everyone, whether you just started in the industry or you've been here forever.
Whether
We're
you're
all
someone being a PA for the first time or getting
Yeah.
someone's lunch, or you're the executive producer, everybody should be treated the same way. And there's been a lot of actors we've worked
Yeah.
with that we've seen that really set the bar for how crew should be treated.
And make sure that you want to be there, you know?
Yeah.
Like, we wake up and like, this is what we want to do.
Yeah.
You know, it really does make, it makes a difference for sure. And I know as a woman, especially, I've learned from a lot of women in my career, Helen Mirren, Danielle, like all these, like, really like find your voice, especially when you're a woman working in this industry, or even a man, like just don't be afraid to like speak up for yourself.
Well, I mean, I think that's good advice for any industry.
Yeah.
For sure.
And work jobs, you're late once, you get
Anything.
written up, you're late twice, you're fired.
Yeah.
And be kind. You never know when you're going to have to go back to that job, or who you're
And
going to
people
see
are not
again.
going to be keep lists.
Yeah.
We know who not to work.
I think
Yes.
I've had so many of these
And
talks.
regular jobs do that too.
Yeah, I've had so many talks with people at my table. Like, we're all the same fucking, like, we're all human beings, Like, we're all going through our own individual shit. And I think just being there for one another and having a good positive energy and being kind to one another, like, it makes a difference. It really does.
Absolutely.
All right, ladies.
Drop
thank
that
you very
mic.
much. Give it up. Please don't drop the mic.
Okay, wait, you guys gotta continue. Okay, wait. We're gonna do a video.
Here, I dropped the mic.
Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1. Make your noise, guys. Everybody.
Come on over here with me.
I'm not throwing down. I'm not throwing down. Oh, give me the bottle.
Yeah.
Give me the clip.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I haven't changed.
Thank you, guys.